Tell me what's on your mind.
Welcome to the show. I'm Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Got a full house today. Got Mr. Will over here from Creators Outlet, also known as Joker Fan. Mr. Luke Stone in the corner, known as the creator of Hybrids, Sons of the Gods. There you go.
Sons of the Gods, yeah, close enough.
Checks in the mail, right? Checks in the mail? Yeah. Okay.
Close enough.
All right. Anyway, this broad chest, and there you go. It's for sale. It's for sale, folks. All right. Down here we got Mr. Shadowpunk. There you go with this newest figurine. That's awesome. And we got Mr. Belmont on the moon. Sometimes literally, sometimes figuratively. We'll find out. Anyway,
I was gonna ask Will if he can name all 5 Jokers or 6 Jokers. I guess there was, wasn't there?
Yeah.
He's a Joker fan. Let's see if he can. How many he can name?
Oh, like the actors?
Yeah. The most popular, the 6 most popular actors that played Joker:
Cesar Romero,
Mm-hmm.
Mark Hamill,
Mm-hmm.
Heath Ledger,
Mm-hmm.
that Leto piece of crap,
Yep.
and Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
There's
You
one
missed
more
one.
bonus.
You missed the one more.
Most important one.
I named the most important one, Cesar
No,
Romero.
you did not. You did
You want
not.
us to give us a hint? Give you a
He
hint?
wanted the most.
This
important
town
one.
needs an enema.
Oh, Jack. Jack wasn't
Jack
the Joker. Jack was just himself. Jack hasn't acted in a movie since he started acting.
All right. Well,
He just repeats the lines, man.
He is what
technically,
he is, man.
technically, he's the Joker. Anyway, all right. Anyway,
He's like a
All
real
right.
life Joker.
Hojo.
there's in the Hojo sighting. There you go. All right. And
Hojo.
Belmont's messing with me again. All right.
I didn't do that. I did not do that. I had
Is
my
that
hand
Will?
on my coke.
Yeah, it was me.
As well. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I got 3 people here that can mess with the board, so it's gonna get a little crazy sometimes. Anyway, so how was your weekend, gentlemen? Everybody have a good weekend?
I was at a convention, so
That's right. That's right. Bowling Green, right?
yep, Bowling Green.
I saw that display of yours for your convention. That's quite
Yeah.
the
Oh,
setup.
thanks.
Yeah, that was top notch, man. That's
Like, whoa, that's like Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's funny because it was like people around him who said had like a table with a stack of books and like a couple behind him, and they're like looking at him like, "Oh crap!"
It helps sometimes.
There you go.
You know, have
There
a
you go.
decent display.
Right.
And,
Did you overshadow Randy Zim? He was next door to you.
A little bit, you know, but
A little bit.
Did you sell? How many books did you sell?
at that one, not enough.
Not
I probably
enough.
sold like 4 sets of 5 of the
Ah.
first arc, and
Mm-hmm.
probably another half dozen issue ones. Yeah, it wasn't a very good con.
Yeah, you had a better one at Tampa Bay, I think, didn't you?
No, the one that I had at what's the name of that stupid place?
Mm-mm.
What is that place called? St. Augustine. Yeah.
St. Augustine. Oh,
St.
okay.
Augustine.
All right.
St. Augustine was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
How much did it cost for you to go into those?
well, that one was $100 for the table.
Mhm.
But
One
it was,
day?
yeah, one day. But it was. So I had intended to go to that con.
Mhm.
It really wasn't. It was kind of an afterthought because
Mhm.
what had happened was Randy and I had decided we needed to meet up to switch over some books because he had all the hybrids books that were printed off,
Mhm.
and I needed to get some for my online store, and I was already out of the box of 100 that I had, so I
Right.
needed to get some stuff going, and so he was also going to give me some other books,
Mhm.
some of the other Arrow books for trick or treating. I'm giving
Right.
away. That's instead of candy, I'm giving away comic books.
Mhm.
That's what my house does.
Ah,
And,
gotcha.
never had
Candy and
noticed
comic
it.
books.
Good
That's
idea.
awesome.
No candy, just comic books.
Just comics.
Yeah, we're the
Oh,
comic
okay.
book house,
All
yeah.
right. Gotcha.
We're the
gotcha,
comic book
gotcha.
house, and
Yeah.
so so we were going to be doing that anyway, and we
Mhm.
knew we needed to meet halfway, which was somewhere in Kentucky. And he had a friend over there.
Right.
He wanted to hang
I,
out
I
with me.
I would suggest also adding some candy in. Otherwise, you go get kids like, no candy. I get a dang book. I'm gonna have to read this one. Dump.
Well, I'm
So.
not going to add any candy in.
All right. Okay. Okay.
It's
All
kind of
right.
a good idea. I mean, it's almost like you might, who knows if they might end up. The only thing is, are the kids going to be able to find your book online later on?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's
Right.
the only
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, they know what house to go to.
No, I
There you
mean,
go.
to buy
There you
your
go.
books for $25.
Mhm.
Like, they don't-
You're getting little kids hooked on your book.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the idea, anyway. I mean, that's
Ah,
what we're gonna
there
do,
you
so.
go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Get them
so-
young. Get them young, and you'll have them forever.
Exactly.
Comic groomer.
Could
Yes.
you
There
could
go,
you
comic
give,
groomer.
could you print out posters and then with your contact info on it and give those to kids too?
I could do whatever I want, but I don't. Really
I
wanna
mean-
do that.
I mean, would
Yeah.
it work? Is what I mean.
It probably would, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, here's what I like about life. You can do
Mhm.
whatever you want. Like
There you go.
when it comes to
There you go.
creating, you can just do
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, if I wanted to do that, but the thing is, there's, my books have a link to my website on the inside usually.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So, so it is pretty easy to find this stuff if they want it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Cool.
the idea is just try to get them hooked on comic books in general. Is
Right.
Yes. True.
hopefully
It sounds-
they
clever.
want more.
It
of
sounds
ours.
nefarious, but it's also really cool. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
but,
clever. Pretty clever.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So anyway, that was why we had originally determined to go to Bowling Green to start with. Well, at least somewhere in that area within, an hour or 2.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it just turned out that there was a con in that area, so we
Yeah.
decided to go to it. And so it didn't really matter if we made any money.
Somebody knows you, Luke. I can do whatever I want.
I can do it. I can do whatever I want.
Unless you work at Marvel or DC, then you can't do shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. Right.
That's why I never really wanted to work for those
Yeah.
company.
Hell
Like,
Bunny, Devil Flyer, Hell Belmont. What's up, dude?
Like I've
Yeah.
literally never wanted to work for those places.
Right.
No, I take that back. Maybe when I was a kid, like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And then, then once I got older, and I started
Mhm.
seeing all these little indie publishers, and they could just
Well-
do whatever they wanted.
Right.
They had all this freedom, and I really wanted to do that.
Right. Right. All right. Let me share this. I did a show on Friday night. Shadowpunk Road when Belmont were there, and evidently I said things that were considered controversial. So
Oh,
I managed to get some pushback from
Well,
both sides of the aisle as it happens. What's that?
Imagine what would have happened if I was there.
Yeah, seriously.
What on earth did you say that could be viewed that way?
Well, evidently a lot. So anyway, so let me read. One of them was evidently a Vickyverse fan that took
Oh,
offense
God.
to something I said.
my God.
So-
She's still around.
He's still around. So
Unfortunately.
all right, let me add to the stream. So and let me
Oh, she
embiggen
did
this.
come up, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She did. All right, so let me go ahead and read this. Hey, telepathic buddy, you should take your guest suggestion about having people with left-leaning views more seriously on more seriously and welcome actual conversation. You do exist in an echo chamber, I can tell just by listening to you and by the viewpoints you've exhibited during your stream. Okay. Uh,
That's a good.
and
Those are good.
mhm,
I mean, having her on as a
mhm.
having somebody on that has a different point of view is not a bad idea.
No, I got you. Let me continue. And if you're going to throw disparaging remarks at Vickyverse, here we go. You should do
Ugh.
so from the stronger positions. You bring her up and then do what everybody else does. You attack her just because you don't like what she has to say, not because she was wrong in her reporting of the facts she laid out for her public. Actually, I said that they're easily disprovable facts, quote unquote facts. Anyway, I've never once seen someone or anyone who's CG or CG adjacent show facts that countered her reporting in a civil or moralized manner. Uh, her reporting. Okay. You did it during this stream, and frankly, it's old, tired, and disgusting. You say she comes up with accusations, and you say they're easily discounted, didn't do just that, made a couple of dumb attempts at sexist, weird humor, and then continued on with more ignorance. It's amazing to me. So evidently, I did some sexist, weird humor. Okay.
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 Yeah. All right. All right. Anyway, and then continued on with more ignorance. It's amazing to me how many alleged men within CG, are
Alleged
so
men.
bent and broken in front of a woman who's reporting on what she sees happening right in front of us in the indie comic scene. Okay. As an SJW, I've said this elsewhere that using that term SJW isn't the own you think it is. It depends on what you think SJW means. But anyway, as a writer,
Ah.
as a writer and creator and an avid comic book customer, okay, I'm watching CG reeling along directions that splinter the movement. A movement that refuses to serve the comic book industry and creates chaos as sissified dudes like you and many others. This I love this part.
No,
El
that's fun.
Taib, Della Rose, Skyver, et al. Like I'm fans of those guys. Anyway, so those
They don't
of
know
us
you at all.
they don't know me at all. Okay.
All right, so invite Mark Brooks onto the show. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah,
It
I
is
never
what it
want to talk to that guy, even if you paid me,
All
I
right.
don't want to talk to that dude.
Okay.
That dude's a joker.
So those of us who are paying
Hey.
attention, this shows those of us who are paying attention how afraid you are of each other, while at the same time you conduct and join conversations that barely show any joy and real love for comics. Like I don't have real love and joy for comics. Yeah, okay. And the communities that care about the art form, and I don't care about the art form. Okay, you're all terrible, weak ambassadors for the industry, and there's no mystery as to why you're all shunned by circles you absolutely should be accepted in. Think about all the harm CG has done over the past 5 years, your role in that, and your compliance by aligning yourself with a here it comes,
Here it comes.
hate group,
Oh
and
my
how
God.
those
Oh.
things relate to the fact that you have almost zero recognizable writing credits in a third.
Here's what you do: you just thank her for the viewing,
yeah.
for the hours. For the
No, I
viewers.
just said fair enough. I've read your comment. Appreciate you reaching out. However, grouping with those three is the only thing you said I found objectionable. Which also shows you don't watch my channel because I've stated pretty clearly I don't identify as a fan of those gentlemen in question. Either way, if someone would show me a smoking gun that wasn't based in hearsay and interpretation of facts, I'd be willing to listen. Either way, thanks for visiting the channel. I hope you find content more your liking. So there you go.
I would
Anyway.
invite her on as soon as possible. Let me ask you this: could it even hurt?
Mm-mm.
It couldn't hurt.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, that's the thing. If they would come on in good faith and have a discussion, but that's not what they're after.
You
Yeah.
can't talk to these people.
It sounds like they're
No.
trying to start internal fighting with you and those other
Yeah.
guys. Is what it sounds
Well,
like.
here's what it is.
Uh huh.
Everybody else has got them blocked and is ignoring them.
Yeah.
So she's coming around to the other people that are lower level CG. or
Honestly,
CG
I think
adjacent.
that's a Vicky verse sock puppet because that sounds exactly like things she says. I mean, verbatim. Either this person like is so far up her butt that she parrots everything that she says verbatim, or that's a Vicky versus sock puppet. So that's mine is the.
Here's the thing.
I
I don't
think
even engage with Vicky. So here was the deal. Like, she came around
Yeah.
right around like when that whole variant thing happened with Liberty. She was coming around and talking with. She was in Randy's DMs, and so Randy had no idea who she was or what she was about, and it was like, and it was our boy Anthony Figaro was like, look out for her, dude. She's a drama hound, and she's all anti everything. So, and I'm not entirely convinced that she wasn't that AG Mars or whatever.
Right.
That was messing with people. Because I mean that's the kind of things that she does, and she's in that private DM with Mark Brooks, messing about with EVS's autistic daughter. Here's the deal. I don't care. I don't care what your leaning is on that, but we don't bring up family. Family.
That's a good point, Mo.
Leave
That's
family
a good point.
out of it.
Yeah, that's a
Now
good point.
people are
Mo.
calling CPS on people's children. You know what I mean? On parents saying that neglecting their children or whatever. It's just disgusting, man. Disgusting.
Just because someone repeats the same talking points verbatim doesn't mean they're the same person. There's a reason SJW is also called NPCs, right? Right. Yeah.
So the Fizzard here says we live in a society where only people whose opinions are agreeable are acceptable. No one's willing to listen to contrasting opinions. I'll tell you something. As a hardcore conservative person, I find listening to conservatives so boring.
Yeah.
It's so lame. I mean, unless I'm talking to them like you guys, only listen to left-wing people.
Right.
Because you can see the circus, right? And so...
the thing about it is all you have to do is just listen to where the marching orders are that day. Because you go across the platforms, they all say these. You just have to find out what the DNC's release was for the day, because they all are going to say the exact same narrative. They just parrot it out of different channels. I mean, it's terrifying. I saw a compilation one time that where somebody showed all these channels like at the same time, and if you watch them at the same time, they sync.
Oh, right. Like what the news people are saying in our democracy. Dangerous crap like that.
Yeah, exactly. They'll use the same phraseology. They'll use the exact same turn. They'll pick a turn of phrase, and that's the one for the day. And they'll use the exact same one. So it's
the
hive mind. It's a hive mind.
You got Vicky on your channel, and you got, let's say you did talk. Okay.
Yeah. Right. What's up, William Quinton? What's up, dude?
It's all going to come down to your viewpoint. Because she's a Marxist, and she probably doesn't even realize it, right? So she can't exactly. She's going to look at everything as oppression and patriarchy and inequality, and we don't really see things that way. We look at things as far as like individual point of view.
Well, we look at facts. That's the problem.
And they look at feelings.
1 second, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a Marxist theology, is what they're preaching, and that's what they're. This whole critical theory and all of that stuff, and I mean, it's just too much. I kind of get fed up with it.
Right.
It controls our world, so you got to deal with it, right?
Ryan, suddenly odd. The illusion of choices in the mainstream. Yep. Yeah. Well, the thing that the reason why I don't listen to left wing people that often is because there's like 3 avenues they use, every single one of them. I mean, without any kind of like variation. Hold on 1 second.
Your mic's muffled.
One word motivates all these clowns: resentment. Yeah. Okay. They'll use a straw man argument. Okay. They'll use an ad hoc argument or an ad hominem argument. Okay.
What's ad hoc argument?
Okay, ad hoc means, the straw man argument means that they'll take something completely unrelated and conflate it as to what they're accusing. Okay, the ad hoc argument means that they'll like come in the back door and like and say, because this is true. Okay? Like because this person is a Nazi and you are associated with this person, then i.e. you are a Nazi. Okay? That's the ad hoc argument. And ad hominem is just simply the baseless smear. They just smear.
You look stupid.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Well, I mean, if you know those three avenues, you basically, I used to, just out of fun, I would get in arguments with them, and then I'd tell them what they're going to say next, and watch as they said it next. Just for my own amusement, I would do that.
I love that.
It's like, it was Heather Ontos, you know, I had fun with her one day, and I felt bad about it later because it was like batting around a puppy or whatever, you know, but you know, she was like saying, "Oh yeah, well you just don't like women in, you know, whatever, in comics or whatever," and I was like, I brought up the fact that under her watch this cover of Arple O'Neil went out.
Arple.
Yeah, with
Arple.
And she tried to say, "Oh, I wasn't over that," and I was like, "Well, you know, this is the time you came on editorial staff 6 months before this happened, and you're, oh, by the way, the lady on the cover has your smirk." And look, it has red hair and your smirk. It looks exactly like you. So,
never ran across her desk. She doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. I was like, either you're really crappy at your job or you're a liar. So, either way. But,
the other claim they made in that letter, which is a kind of bullshit, is the fact that where is your body of work that backs up your writing credentials? And you're like,
well, she was making the same argument that the other guy was making, that that inspired me to do the poll. Let me bring that up right quick.
While you're bringing that up, though, the thing is, let's just say you do produce a comic, and it is really written well. They'll say, well, but it's only one. And then if you have 5, they go, yeah, but you know, how many decades have you done it though? Right?
Yeah, they're gonna move the goalposts. I know, I'm aware. Alrighty, let me go ahead and bring this up right quick. Share it to the stream. And up. Alright, here you go. Okay, so this is the poll. Alright. So alright. Anyway, a comment was left on my channel. I would like some feedback. The comment, and I did paraphrase it because, you know, it was like 5 paragraphs of stuff. And it says, until you put out work similar to the work you are commenting on, then your opinion is not a valid one, and you should not say anything. It's a paraphrase, but I think I got it pretty accurately. And then basically, most people said, well, if you, you know, that you have a right to comment on anything, whether you're a creator or not.
So that means for movies, if you got to make movies professionally, or otherwise you can't criticize a movie, or music, you got to be in a band, or you can't criticize music.
Yeah, you can't criticize the music, or anything like that. Well, I mean, it was just basically it was like one of those ad hominem arguments, you know, that went absolutely nowhere.
Especially with me.
Especially with you, Will. Yeah. Anyway, so, but you know, it was just he actually. I'm not gonna call him out because he's in the community all the time, but I was like, why does that name sound familiar? And I checked my DMs, and he'd actually DM'd me asking me advice about he's going to do his own comic book, and did I, you know, what was the prices that he could expect, and I was like, okay, so why is this guy respecting my opinion over here and then attacking me over here?
Right. And
all I can think is that I must have he must have felt like I slighted one of his favorite creators. So it is what it is. I mean, but the whole argument just was like baffling to me, how you could even come to that logical fallacy, you know.
I'm sorry, but if that's the way you feel, maybe the internet isn't the place for you.
Maybe not. maybe not. You know.
The Mark Brooks Ethan debate was so almost worthless to watch.
It was
So,
totally.
The cool thing about it is, though, that I think that if you had a discussion with an SJW, we'll call them creator,
right,
like Vickyverse or whatever, that would be really interesting for people to watch, because you really can't. You could yell, but you don't strike me as a yeller.
No,
right?
not normally. No.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be really fun to just sit down and go, you know.
Well, the thing. Hold on 1 second. Hojo says, Bunny, stop answering these emails wanting advice. You're responsible for me doing my own comic now. Better quit while you're ahead. Well, it's really kind of funny when because I give out advice all the time to other creators, and people have me looking at their scripts all the time. You'd be surprised at how many scripts I've seen so far, and I probably should start charging for my advice, but unless I like do some significant changes, most of the time I just advise, right?
I noticed these people never say crap like this to me.
Yeah.
Where's your body of work? I don't know. Freaking Google it.
Well, I mean, I don't currently have my comic book out, but he one of the things he said when he doubled down on Twitter was, "Well, work around the cost and get something out there. Put a PDF or something out there so people can see you know what you're talking about." And
I'll jump right on that.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about it is if my advice is bad, okay, then it all comes out in the wash, okay? If things I am saying are not valid, they have no validity, then people who take my advice are gonna like, oh, this is crap, this doesn't work, But
what would be interesting is somebody that you've given advice to on their writing. If after the book comes out, you have them on the show and you talk about how the small changes you added really, how they came about.
Well, Luke over here, right here, he's actually the first person that read my script, and he was the first person that he had been on the Bancroft show, and he talked about being a devout Christian pastor and writing comics, but not writing Christian comics, right?
Yeah.
And that was always a big sticking point for me because I don't write Christian content. I'm a Christian, but my content doesn't come out that way. And so it was like I felt I kind of had this barrier to me actually creating something. And once I heard him say that, it was like an excuse for me to just, create. Because he said it's that if you're a Christian, then your Christianity is going to be expressed through your work. Whether it's overtly Christian or not. And and so because of that, I kind of had this real spurt of creativity, and I finished this project that I'd been tinkering with for 20 or 30 years or more, and it was just my comic book. And so I had him read it, and he gave me this advice that he said, well, I can't edit this because this is too close to what I'm doing. He says, but you have something here. You need to keep going with this. And that's all I needed, right? Then I got Kemosabe. And Kemosabe was closer to what I'm writing than Luke was, but he gave me advice that basically led one book into becoming two. And expanding my universe drastically because this comment that, your actions actually start way too late. You really need to that needs to be taken out. But I realized that scene could be taken out and made the heart of another book. And so that's what I chose to do with it, right? Hold on one second. Hell, Mr. Piggy. Sorry. Hell, my friends. Hey, Mr. Piggy, General Piggy.
What's up, Piggy?
Somebody was talking about that greeting. It's a really, really great greeting. It is. Anyway, so any advice you give someone, whether you're unlearned or unpublished, or you know, it's going to be valid if it works for that person. You know, I mean, you can get advice from anywhere. You can get advice from that person. Oh, this sucks, man. This just sucks, right? Aaron's Wog is a great example of having a Christian elements without being overtly Christian. WOG, what's that? Anybody know?
World or something?
I don't know anything.
I don't know. Anyway, hey, thank you, Brian. I think Brian's suddenly old. Anyway, but the thing about it is, though, is even if somebody just tells you your stuff sucks, you can like ask, okay, what part of it sucked? How? In what way did it suck? Yeah. You know, to what degree was the suckage? You know,
you know, it's like I shared last night some pretty. Sorry about that, guys. I've got the unannounced Florida pest guys here.
No problem.
So
no problem.
But I shared my feelings about the ISOM #1 book. You know.
Right.
Now, you know, some people's like, well, you don't, you know, you haven't made as much money as Eric.
Wrath of God. Okay.
You don't get to say anything. You know.
Aaron Lopresti. Okay. Yeah. Wrath of God. Wrath of God.
The truth is, you know, I spent money on that, so I have.
Right.
I have an opinion. I'm allowed an opinion, and even though it doesn't, you know, it isn't popular with people that are super big fans of his. Now I'm a big fan of his, but I didn't care. I didn't care for the dang book. You know, I didn't care for the book, and so but I said why I didn't care for it. I've listed out all the reasons why I didn't care for it, and if people don't want to, you know, whether you think I know what I'm talking about or not, those were my reasons, right? So even if I'd never written a thing in my life, I'm a consumer. And if I have an opinion about the book, as a consumer, then I can, you know, it could be valid.
Right.
That's what all these reviewers do, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing about teachers. They teach, but they don't do.
Right.
Right? And these people they're not going crazy about these teachers that have their opinions about politics and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, you're not a politician, so you just shut up. That is, honestly, that is what I think.
Has Vicky created anything where she can actually criticize back?
She's created a lot of crap for people to deal with. I mean, I'm not a fan, and I don't care if she knows that. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm not afraid of people on the internet. Heck, I'm not afraid of people in real life. So, you know, I'm not gonna.
That whole almost dying thing is kind of, you know, taking care of that for you. You know, I imagine. Anyway, well, you know, it's just like last night, the other night, I mentioned that.
Was that just me, or did the whole thing freeze up?
Just you.
Hold on.
Just you.
No.
Oh, really?
I'm fine over here. Well, I don't know. I'm not actually watching the screen. I'm drawing a comic book. I'm actually creating something.
Well,
let's critique it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, yeah, he's talking about Aaron Lopresti's Wrath of God. That's what he was talking about. Having Christian elements without being overtly Christian. Right. Well, the interesting premise at the heart of what he was trying to say was basically he used examples of where somebody was like theoretical and then somebody actually applied the actions, and that the applying the action was more preferable. You know, it's like the whole schooling over experience argument. But he was not making the association that theory pushes physical. Okay, you need the theoretical and the physical, because some people have got to come up with these principles that the people are acting upon. You know, and so that argument was entirely invalid too. But I just wanted to see what people thought. Is this true? And I had some creators, some interesting creator feedback, where some creators said that they didn't feel like if you gave any criticism, it should be like in DMs or privately.
Really?
That you shouldn't be hurting somebody's bottom line.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I kind of, I if it's someone I know, I'll give. I honestly, I don't critique most people. I don't, like, unless they ask for it and pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I just kind of don't do it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: whenever you are a vocal critic,
Mm-hmm.
then what's going to happen is when you do create something, people are going to be just as vocal, if not more so, with you, which is like that's my criticism.
Right.
With this whole ISOM thing. It's like, look, like you had to come out strong with this book, and I don't feel like you did,
Right.
But I'm like, if you like it, that's you can just tell me I'm full of beans, and I'm fine with that.
Well, I thought about this, and when I went to make this channel, I thought about, that I was basically opening my book up to greater criticism, that I was going to have to raise the level of my book to justify everything that I said previously,
Sure.
to show that I knew what I was talking about. Mr. Good Stuff wants to know why Justin's on the moon. No idea. No idea. Is that the dark side? I don't know.
No, it's the light side.
I know what the dark side looks like.
All right. But then I kept getting these books that where it's obvious that somebody decided that where they could cut the corner was in hiring a writer, and so these people drew these books. Most of them were artist creators. That the early on, most of the books you got were artist creators because, let's face it, artists can turn around a lot faster. An artist creator can turn around a lot faster than a writer creator can, and because a writer has to find an artist and then work through the artist to get it out. But I was getting a lot of these writer created books, and I was watching these shows that where these people were like repeating this narrative that anybody can write, that writing's not important, anybody can write. And I get these books where obviously this advice was taken seriously. I mean, it was quite obvious that
technically anybody can write.
Well, yeah, technically anybody can write their signature, anybody can write a letter, but when it comes to writing,
I chased a dog down the street and then I got him. That's my story.
You wrote a story.
I mean,
you're a writer.
There you go. You're a writer.
You can critique now.
but why? It's like that rant I said the other night. I just said that until I see less of these books where it looks somebody didn't even get an editor. They didn't get anybody to look over the script. It was obvious that this was the first draft script, and they just went directly to pencils, without without perfecting that script first.
As you've described, as kind of like the Image Comics kind of thing.
Exactly, Image Comics that's the cautionary tale I keep going back to.
Kick-ass network and something else is going on.
Just forward pretty, and we'll add some words later.
Exactly. And those books are ephemeral. They had no impact on the culture in long term.
Forgettable.
I mean, they had an immediate impact, but then the impact is years later. Nobody can tell you the lineup for Cyberforce. Anybody here? Can anybody here tell me the lineup for Cyberforce? The team.
What's Cyberforce?
Cyberforce.
Okay. Point made. Okay.
The one with 6 arms or something? 4 arms?
Yeah. I think there was one with 6 arms. Yeah.
Was it 6 arms or 4 arms? 4 arms.
Yeah. 4 arms. Yeah, it's 4 arms. I think.
4 arms,
yeah. I know. Velocity is the only one I know because I like her premise. She's a scaredy cat, super speed person who ran away, used her speed to run away from dangers. I like that. Plus the name Velocity. I love that. I love the name. But that's the only one I can remember, really. I think there was maybe a guy with claws.
Oh yeah, Ripclaw. Ripclaw.
Yeah, yeah. I think. See what I mean? See what I mean? Can you tell? You can't tell. Yeah. Anyway, so no, we can disagree. That you can give me perspective and actually challenge why I like ISOM #1. I found it strong. Introduction to the Rippaverse and introduction to Avery ISOM. There you go.
All right, here's the deal. Here's why I'm gonna say this is why I don't like and why I think it was a strong introduction.
What I think about webcomics, I'll mention it in a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say here's why I don't think it was a strong introduction, because the last 4 pages about that rock band was the most intriguing thing about the whole book. There was unnecessary splash pages, and it did not progress the story. When your main character's entire motivation is I'm mad that I got dissed. Like that's not a hero I want to follow. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if that is his motivation, you don't need 90 pages for that.
Right.
Well, the good thing about your review though, Luke, is that you offer solutions in a way. So so if you critique something, don't just say I don't like it because I don't like that.
Right.
Because you're lazy, you're mentally lazy. Why don't you say, what Luke said, these are the issues I had, you could have done it this way. I would have been more invested into it.
Well, he has he's hired Chuck Dixon for I don't think it's for the main book, but he's hired him for another book at least. So maybe he's realizing that he's in over his head and that until he reaches a certain level, he needs some help.
I don't know. No, I don't think that's what it is. I think he thinks he's a good writer, and I think he thinks he's on the level of Chuck Dixon, and that's just not. Based on his current attitude.
Right.
Right. I mean, and think about it. Yeah. This has come from a guy that was like a hardcore fan of this dude, and I feel like, he had a great opportunity with this book, and
my impression is that what's his name? Rippa sold it. What's his name? Rippa, the guy.
Eric July.
He sold his book is based on his online presence, right? It's not Alan Moore and it's not Brian Boland doing the artwork. Okay, it's a decent book, all things considered, but he didn't make $3 million because it's that freaking good. That is not why he made $3 million.
No, not at all.
He made it because it's personality driven, and I mean, maybe he even thinks that he has to write it because he thinks that he knows that's why he sold it that. Yeah. Right? So they don't want Alan Moore. They want me in the book.
Well, the thing about this, though, is in a world where Stan Lee exists, who never wrote these things, very rarely wrote these things. He most of the time, he like spitballed it, in a meeting, and basically gave them their marching orders and sent them out, right?
Right.
I mean, doing that is very, very respectable in the comic community. Just saying, I gave them their marching orders, I gave them the story, and I let them go.
That's what I'm doing with that's what I'm doing with several books.
Yeah.
I'm just giving marching orders, and I'm like, this is what I want to see happen. Let's make it happen, folks.
Well, the bottom line is, if Stan Lee does that, and then Jack Kirby goes off and makes a whole universe, that sells comics, and that's his comics, right? So
this is what Kirby did, often.
Right. But my point is, if Eric July is selling these comic books, it is what it is. I mean, more power to him, I suppose. It's like,
I haven't made $4 million, so I mean.
My point is, if it works for him, the formula works, and there's no debating it.
Okay. This is a good point. I agree the rock band intro was my favorite part as well. I'm hoping that the anger management of the disrespect issue will be the arc we get to see overcome. So, okay.
I hope, but I will buy the rock band one. I am not buying any more ISOM. I didn't care for it. I don't care about the character. He just didn't sell me on
You
it.
got to get out more, Will.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Anyway, so he's Eric July tried to be all of Apple in the early stages, meaning you want to be Jobs and Wozniak combined. There weren't many people on the planet like that. You need help. Yeah. And holy shit, nice mask.
Mask.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know who wrote the Norfolk story, that backup there.
Yeah.
If that was Eric, then he can write. Okay? Mm-hmm. He can write. So I don't know what the heck the other pages were. But I liked that. I mean, that was solid. It was a good little it made me interested in those characters.
Right.
I mean, he was not able to accomplish that with the main character.
Right.
He did not accomplish that well for me.
Well, I hold on one second. General Piggy says, real talk, I want a Norfolk shirt. There you go.
Norfolk.
Yeah. Evidently that's the backup story. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm buying that. When that book comes out, I'm buying that book.
Right.
That one I want. That one I want.
Well, I guess the market will eventually sort itself out. But I guess the point I made in my rant the other night was that so you got $3 million worth of customers, some of them who have either never seen comics or have not been in comics or are coming back to comics, and this is the shot that you had to maybe help the Western comics come back a little bit, maybe point people in the direction of independent comics that have given up on the mainstream like so many of us have, and you gotta knock that out of the park. And the fact that he chose to with his lack of acumen, write it himself, and not even have a script editor, or somebody look over his script, and I just thought that was just a miscalculation on a really egregious scale. But
well, I don't know if it's that I mean, how many? I know so many first-time creators decide they're going to letter the book themselves. Yeah. I'm going to letter the book myself. I'm going to be a letterer.
Terrible mistake.
There's, it just, I mean, when you look at it as hey, this is this guy's first offering.
Yeah.
It's not bad for a first time out.
Okay.
But it's just the, it's all of the other stuff.
Right.
That goes with it. Mm-hmm. Is the reason why it's the problem that it is.
Right.
It's because he's been so vocal. It's because he makes the claims he does about the mainstream. It's because we can go on and on and on about it. Mm-hmm. But there's the problem. That's why there's a problem with it. It's if he was just hey, I made this comic book, and then it would be fine. But and it's his attitude. He's hey, if he'd be yeah, guys, I'm learning.
Right.
Made a couple mistakes. We'll fix it for the next one. Yeah. It'd be fine. But the guy's acting like he's flawless out there.
Right.
Here's the thing. Bunny, if you come out and your book has as many problems, no one's going to buy your second book.
Right.
In fact, you're going to wind up having a rash of campaigns that don't fund.
Yeah.
Like so many of these guys out there, because they had a poor offering.
Yeah.
And they have trouble getting funded forever.
Well, it's like Fowler, Matthew Fowler. Okay. He right after he put out, I think it was Seiko 66. He put out a supernatural comic called Prospectors, and it looked awesome. It had Kanan White cover. I mean, it had really awesome pencils, and the colorist was top notch. It looked awesome. Okay, but the book didn't fly, and he admits the reason why is because he
I'm sorry,
had.
Guys.
but he didn't really go on to a lot of shows. He didn't really like associate with people, and he didn't really like, his the first one basically funded because it looked like nothing else in Comicsgate, but the second one it needed introducing to people because it just the campaign was kind of vague. It didn't really give a lot of specifics. It looked awesome, but people were like, I don't know, I don't know what the deal is with this, and but then he got in the community. He made the rounds for his second one, which was Dixie Rose, and he got that one funded. And but then he cooked up with Crack Pack and started being one of their guys. And then the infamous, Tanya go wait in the car, give Sin Fowler the Link event happened, which made him a little bit of a legend. Right. And so then he puts out Tiger Blue with Jose Garcia's incredible pencil work. And it looked awesome. Had a great trailer to it. Had a great merch package. And people knew who he was by that point. He became a face in the community. And so over the weekend, he relaunched Prospectors. But this time, he told people what it was. He told people the premise. He told people specifics about what they could expect with the book. And gave along with the awesome images, he gave the concept so people knew exactly what they'd be getting. Funded.
Cool.
Funded in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he also had 2 great books under his belt at that point.
The Tiger Blue 1 and 2. Yeah. So
and okay, so if you compare Tiger Blue to Isom,
right?
Listen, I don't. From what I've seen, there's no comparison. Tiger Blue is far beyond way better book. And I'm not taking anything away from Isom.
Right.
Is that crazy opinion? What do you guys think?
Well, Isom just seems to be generic. I don't know. I don't know what the hook is. It was he wasn't very specific about what it was going to be about. You gotta be salesman. Products shallow. Eventually, the money will dry up, right? And hell, Wolfier. Okay. He said it's back. I just backed the Prospectors. Yep. And Fowler has some great ideas, nice ideas. Well, one thing about it though, that I think, if you look at the Prospectors, when you look at the first time, what you got there, Shadow Pun?
I was just gonna hold up my my Fowler sculpt I did for him.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's Tiger Blue right there.
Nice.
That's cool.
I was pretty happy when I got done. I don't want to derail your thing. I just wanted to, while you were talking about it.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I want to check that out. I'm late to the community. My first experience with Matt was Tiger Blue, but I disliked Dixie Rose. Yeah, Dixie Rose was a hard sell. Mostly he got that funded because he took him out to the strip club that he like is a bouncer, part-time bouncer for, and had the ladies like kiss the comics and sign them. Yeah, evidently the strippers in that comic are actually based on real life women.
Cool.
So it's a pretty clever idea, But that's him. He's kind of like one of these non-linear thinkers. So but yeah,
free STD with every issue.
There you go, free STDs. Yep, there you go. Anyway, but I think honestly, as people who I don't have a comic book out. I don't, and I'm working on it. But it's financially, it's hard going. It's shoveling crap uphill one way. And you're basically, that money's just flying out of your pocket. Everybody's got a handout, and it's if you got any other bills in your life, that extra income is hard to come by sometimes. And so I'm not alone in that. I mean, there's a lot of first time creators facing that issue. Fowler when I interviewed him said that he wasn't putting out the campaign that he wanted to put out because all his properties underperformed so much, and
Really?
so he wasn't like putting out the size and the scope that he really wanted to put out, and so I mean I felt that, but you know what? You engender goodwill in people, and you stick around long enough, then that's all going to come around, you know. But you just got to keep got to keep hitting at it. Meanwhile, people like Smokes the Fox has got a whole new merch packages coming out, so check
Oh,
him.
cool.
Luke Stone's got some new properties coming out, some really cool stuff. And Mr. Shadowpunk down here has still got one of the coolest campaigns in all of CG.
Thank
Back him and get a T-shirt and a 3D figurine the first day. At your back.
So that's all I'm doing right now is working on Shadowpunk.
Right. Tiger Blue is like a strong one shot, and Ice Storm's like a chapter of one of the long, slow burn graphic novel series. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of issues that he can correct. I mean, this is not writing the whole thing off. It's just saying that he has to, figure out some course corrections to make and make the course corrections.
Yeah, I mean, it's got potential.
Yeah,
I've said that a few times now. I said, it's got potential, but it's not. It's not what it could be.
Right.
And that's that's really where having a creative partner, an editor comes in. And not someone that does line editor, even just line editor, copy edit. I'm talking about someone to bounce it off. Like, hey, are my ideas tracking? If someone be like, look, if that's a redemption arc, if there's some kind of a redeeming arc to him, like to his motivation, then it needed to be packaged and sold a little bit different, okay?
Right.
And someone like bouncing those ideas back and forth could have helped that land better, because that's not what I got at all. Yeah. And it's the payoff for the book is him getting his suit. And here's the deal, like that would make a big deal if we're talking about Batman or Superman getting their suit back after being a hero, right? But because there's an iconic nature to it, there's nothing iconic about a character you're just now seeing, right? And it's just it just didn't. It has potential. It just didn't land for me. It wasn't my favorite.
Great! All our PayPals are going to get whacked $2,500 today.
Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on a second. Brian says, I dig Shadowpunk sculptures. Those are awesome. Did you make the Rex 2332?
I did not. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry to say.
No, he did make the Sontag, Joe Sontag. So if you see that Joe Sontag with him, Reaper Destroyer standing on the gargoyle, that was Shadowpunk. Wow. He also did a Romulus from God's whatever the Malin thing is.
Godlike.
There you go. No, the John Malin one.
No, but he did Isom. He did a statue, but he.
He did an Isom statue too, but Eric never got back to him. So it is what it is. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I got for the day. Anybody got anything you want to say before we go?
Invite that person on your show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
well,
the sparks fly.
My advice is absolutely different on that. Don't give yourself the headache.
Triple viewership of your channel.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe I'm telling you the wrong thing, but I
hold on a second. He says he got the Reaper one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he got the Reaper one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's his handiwork. Well, anyway, by the way, back hybrids if you haven't, LukeStoneStudios.com. Anyway, everything's available there.
We are doing getting ready to do signups for issue 9.
All right. Also, look into Smokes the Fox down there, Belmont Press. Should be under the Genesis Crüe link tree. That's in the description below. Anyway, also check out the Creators Outlet, Joker Fans channel. It's also he'll be like videos will be showing up on my channel from time to time because we're all simulcasting together. So be sure you check that one out. And anyway, so it's not worth having that person here seriously. well,
let's have some fun. Come on.
Well, I don't know, batting someone that intellectually, you know, I won't say retarded, but you know, just
they're probably going to decline anyway. But
got struck again.
Got struck again. There you go.
To me, that's a no-brainer having that person on. That's a no-brainer.
Well,
what do I know? You know.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, if you have that person on.
I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things, though. I mean, is that really productive? I mean, what kind of audience am I cultivating by doing that?
You're cultivating all of us who want to see you have a normal discussion or a discussion with this person.
Yeah, get out of you. Get out of your echo chamber.
Would it be a discussion, though? Would it actually be a discussion, or would it be them screeching at me, me disagreeing, and then them like, losing their crap on my channel?
Right.
You might get views from it. You have an aneurysm live on stream.
No,
all right.
Quite well, and I think you have a good manner, and I think you wouldn't like go to that level.
Yeah, but am I allowed to kick them off the first time they call me part of a hate group? Can I do that?
I mean,
kick them off?
I would actually hope that they do that, so then you can explain to them how dumb they are.
Been enjoying the Cannabis and Conspiracies replays. My wife has never seen anything on the Crystal Castle. Yeah, that is tomorrow. Me and Belmont will be back. Same Belmont time, same Belmont channel. And it's gonna be Cannabis and Conspiracies, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow we're doing the Bible Code, so that's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, Luke, you might want to join us for that one.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Depends on. All right. Anyway, but thank you all for showing up today. Thank you for the panel. Thank you for the fluffiest chat. Thank you guys always for frequenting my channel. And that's all we've got for today. Y'all have a good afternoon. Bye.
Tell me what's on your mind.